Well, this week, Grandma has gone to Mary Poppins Returns. Yes, she does.
Yes,
Mary
she does.
Poppins Returns.
Yes.
And there's lots of singing, lots of dancing, and lots of hijinks going on. Grandma really liked that Mary Poppins movie. You know, just a few years ago. What was that movie? Who was in that movie? Julie Andrews, was that?
I think so.
Can they top Julie Andrews?
Well, I'm not expecting them to top it, but, equal anyway.
We'll see.
Mary,
Poppins, you came back.
you seem hardly to have aged at all.
Really? One never discusses a woman's age, Michael. Would have hoped I taught you better.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good to be back with you again. Grandma went to another movie.
We did. Yes, we did.
This time she went to Mary Poppins Returns, which
Yay.
the title sort of says it all, doesn't it? Because Mary Poppins Returns. What
Yes.
do you think? In this case, it's a few years later than the first one, of course, a generation later in a way. She comes back to the same house on
Yes.
Cherry Tree Lane. This time it's the house of Michael, the young boy from the Mary Poppins film with Julie Andrews, of course. And he has 3 children, but his wife has just recently died within the year, and they're still grieving her and
They're
trying
dealing
to.
with that.
Yes, they're trying to get by. And he forgot to pay the mortgage, and he's behind on the mortgage, and the bank is foreclosing on him. And so, who should arrive in the nick of time but Mary Poppins to help this poor family? What did you think, Grandma?
If you're in the mood for an uplifting movie, this is the one to go to. Uplifting. Yeah, it has good music, and it has good acting, and interesting situation for Mary Poppins to deal with, and all of the above happens. Yes. It is very, very well done. I enjoyed it thoroughly. There's some interesting combinations of live acting and whatever CGI, or what do you call it?
Animation and special effects. It's
yes.
a lot of different situations.
Yes.
They're not all the same.
Yes, even the holding on to the balloons and flying around in the sky, you can feel it, feel it. It's a happy movie. If you want to spend an afternoon just smiling and cheering Mary Poppins and her family on, this is the one.
What was good about it, though?
What was good about it?
What makes it a good movie?
Well, the story was interesting. The acting was good. Singing and the dancing, you just, could hardly sit still when it was going on. All of the above. What did you think?
Above. Well, I liked it, and I would recommend it. You should go and see it for the reasons that Grandma says.
He likes it.
Again, it is.
He recommended it.
Well, yes, it is. It is. Feel good movie, you might say.
Feel good.
But if there were ever a movie that you had to think, why in the world did they think they needed to make another Mary Poppins movie or another version of this? This is it. Again, the first Mary Poppins, again, a film I love. Grew up with when I was small kid, just like Jane and Michael, about there at the same age. When the first one came out, and there's no reason to make this movie. They did a very good job. I mean, it's all very well put together. Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins does a great job. I mean, she is very good. She's, it's a hard it's a hard act to follow, needless to say. Julie Andrews and Mary Poppins, and you know, it's.
She set the standard pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thankless job almost, and she just goes right into it. You know, she's like full speed ahead, and she's just really takes it on, and she does a very good job. I mean, she's really good. Lin-Manuel Miranda, who sort of...
He was really good, wasn't
he's
he?
the lamplighter in the film,
Yes.
sort of takes the Dick Van Dyke place from the first movie. The original movie. He is very good. His character is actually more involved in the movie than the Dick Van Dyke's character Bert was in the first Mary Poppins movie. He has a much more bigger role.
His part was very important.
Yes, and so he was very good again. And again, all the singing and dancing was good. The songs were, you know, most of them were catchy and good. But again, there was no reason to make this movie because this movie...
Except to entertain us for an afternoon.
Well, in a way, it's really a remake of the original because it's almost... You look at this movie, it's almost like they had a Mary Poppins checklist, and they say, okay, you have to have this sort of a scene, and you have to have this sort of a scene, and you have to have this sort of a scene. And they had all these sort of scenes which in a way mimicked scenes from the original movie.
And this is a fault?
Yes.
It's a fault. It's not
yes.
something
I mean,
good
I frankly, I don't, again, they're based on these famous books, children's books, you know, Mary Poppins books.
Yes.
I haven't read any of the books. I don't know what the story was in those books.
How true the film was to it.
No, but again, in this movie, the story is just beside the point almost. It's not the purpose of this film is to give you follow this sort of story and build on the characters or do anything different. It's all sort of the same notes through the whole thing. Now they're good. I mean, like I say, it's enjoyable. And the performances are good, but I would have liked them to have taken the characters a little somewhere different, to do a little something different. And you can still have songs and dances, but it doesn't need to be the same songs and dances. In this case, it really is very, very similar to the first film. So, again, I don't see a reason to make it unless you're going to make it a little different or build on the story or take it somewhere else, and it didn't do that. So again, I would criticize it for that, but again, I would praise it for the quality of the production, the quality of the acting, and the entertainment of it.
And some of the original actors appear
in
little parts.
Yes.
And if you've seen the original film, it's kind of fun to recognize them, in their supporting roles.
So, again, I would recommend it. What did you say?
Oh,
Would you say, Mary?
Yes. It was very pleasant. It was enjoyable. I loved the music. It's the kind of music that makes you tap your toe, and you think, okay, this is
toe tappers.
Toe tappers. And
so how many thumbs are you giving it, Grandma?
I'm giving this a 2 thumb.
Oh, okay. Grandma really liked it.
This is a 2 thumb. I really like this film. And as Brian said, we recommend it. Yes.
I would recommend you see it. It's fun.
It is very, very good. Mary Poppins has returned, and you need to welcome her. Yes.
Okay, if you say so.
I do.
Boop.